It was just a matter of time before I was found out. The apple may not have fallen far from the tree, but I was certainly no lawyer. A name? I had to give her a name, or the jig was up, something she could hang her hat on. It's Vice, Vice, baby. It's Vice. Vice, baby.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing? Happy Saturday. It's finally weekend. It's awesome. Let's see. We got Peachy Peaches. Good morning. Swan Lake Lady. Good morning to you. And Alan. Glad you could make it finally. And D What. How are ya? David Nelson. Hi, hi. And Becky and Denise. Good maritime morning to you. And Corn Pope. Glad you could make it. Helen T. Ahoy hoy. Redford. Sup. La 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 la. Just dawn. Good morning. Got 30 minutes, but wanted to come hang out with the cool peeps. The cool kids. Okay, even better. Thanks for stopping by. Sweet Fly, good morning. Oh, nice. Awesome. Well, to start things off, I got Samurai Chai Plu for the tea of the day. Ash, welcome. Ow, hot. It's like freshly brewed. So it's still quite hot. But I need to DM T-Man so I can get a code, because I know you guys have been asking, and he told me to just DM him, which I've been forgetting to do. So I will continue on the Wooble for Tank the Shark. So before I start on this, I'll send a DM to T-Man and work on it. And let's see. Ash Axiom, thank you for the 5 Vice Baby gift of membership. I really appreciate you. We got Psycho Doll, got Mama Bear, Leah, Colin, Edward, Forever Not Me who got it. Sweet. The name of that tea is Funny to Me Japanese Samurai with Indian Chai. Yeah, and it's actually a good freaking anime too. I watched it a few times. Love it. I don't day drink anymore. I don't night drink anymore. Hey, good job. Good for you. So, today's episode of, let me Move you guys up here. Nope. Let's try that again. Let's move you guys up here. Sweet. Today's Maritime Monday episode is the whaling ship Essex. Am I on live chat? I'm on live chat. Sweet. Awesome. I did check the Discord, Ellen, so there you go. Ah, Sally Light Podcast. Will, good morning. You're up early. Here. Let me do this so I know it's really you. And Matilda, thank you for the 2. Good afternoon from the Netherlands, and still morning. Good morning from Utah, USA. Ah. Okay, so if I do seem distracted, then I'm sending T-Man a DM so I can get a code for thedragonstreasure.com. And then after that, I'll work on my woobles. I'll be on my phone because the instructions is on my phone. I'm not distracted. So, thank you, my cousin in Korea, for being online on Steam, which reminds me, I need to change my main screen so you guys don't see the notifications I'm getting. Did that do it? Did I fix it? Hopefully I fixed it. That fixed it. Sweet. Awesome. Oh, no problem, Will. Always. All my good old content creator friends get a wrench, so no one else can steal your name. What was I doing? I don't know. But also, just a quick warning of like volume. If I'm too quiet, if the video is too loud, please let me know and I'll adjust the volume. If the sound effects are loud, let me know too, because it will be loud. A very, very fair warning to you. Yeah. Lone Star Living, hello. Good morning. Glad you could join. So I'll send a DM to T-Man first, then I'll work on my crochet while we learn about the whaling ship. Let's see what happens. Why don't we? So let me switch that. Awesome. Okay. Again, you guys know the drill. I'll be muting myself, saying hello and goodbye to people whenever they come and go. Just on Twitter. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Becky. And I will also pause and unmute myself to put in any comments that I feel necessary that I should. So, whether it's related to this or not. We got cannibalism today. Is the whaling ship cannibalism? Awesome. That's always good news here. So, without further ado, I will mute myself and let us enjoy the whaling ship Essex. Let me see if the desktop audio is on. It is not on. Glad I checked that. Sean Poe, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, awesome. Let's get to it.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hi, it's me, Legal Vices, the Lorax, here for you. You guys are nuts. All right, we are here today. It is Maritime Monday. It's that time again. I'm assuming I've got the hat on and the earphones, so the volumes isn't always how I usually hear it. So if the mic is too hot or too soft, just let me know. Should be okay though. I think the mic volume is just about where it should be. So what are we going to do today? We are talking, as I promised, more cannibalism. We were supposed to do more cannibalism last week, but we got sidetracked with the Ask a Mortician drama and getting a terms of service violation for no damn good reason from YouTube. So today we're going back to Ask a Mortician for yet more videos and more cannibalism. We're going to be talking about the Essex,
Hello, Aaron. Welcome, welcome, welcome. His voice, I love it when Jeff talked about cannibalism. Hey, we all love a little bit of cannibalism. Why not? Only have 22 minutes. I have to do replay cannibalism by myself. Hey, enjoy the cannibalism. enjoy your not so legal vices. And Uncle Buck, thank you for the two. Hello, Vice Squad is the best squad. You know it. Welcome, Uncle Buck, and I really, really appreciate that.
Tragic tale that inspired Moby Dick. And then also, we're going to be looking at maybe one or two other things. We've got 90 minutes. Well, 20. We got 88, 87 minutes now because the uh, Dumb Brooks trial will be starting in 90 minutes. And I'll be taking care of that for Nick in the morning. And then Aussie Overlord will take over in the afternoon. So what do we got coming up for the week? It's Monday, so we got to do the what the weekend review, the weekend preview, I guess. Today we got the Essex. Tomorrow, for those of you that watched last Thursday's OJ Simpson stream, you saw what an absolute garbage fest dumpster fire that was due to technical issues. So tomorrow we'll be doing the rebroadcast of last week's OJ Simpson. We're going to do it the way it should have been done. Wednesday, we're going to be doing a holiday whiskey and cigar stream. It's kind of some ideas for holiday whiskeys, holiday cigars you can give to people. Plus, we'll be doing some pop culture news.
And Baxton, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Welcome in. Good to see ya. Lone Star Living, I'm driving and texting. Hey, stop it. No, bad. Shame. How dare you? Is there a button for that? You're lucky there's no button for that. Lone Star Living. Drive safe. And Zach, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thrown in. Thursday, we'll be doing our regular OJ Simpson stream. Friday will be fair and balanced tonight, doing our Halloween unexplained stream. We've been off the unexplained streams for about a month now, so we got to get back on. We're gonna jump in full force with the Halloween special. So there we are. That's the weekend preview. And next Monday's Maritime Monday will be a special one. It'll be possibly the only time ever there will be a maritime story with a whiskey component.
Miss Teresa. I miss him so much. Well, we all miss him. And hopefully through this, me showing you guys his videos, hopefully it'll help you guys in the journey of grieving. But good to see ya. Welcome in. Grab a seat, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and enjoy the hour and a half plus more with my commentary of this beautiful Maritime Monday Saturday.
Component. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, we've got some limited time here, so we'll kind of truncate this the usual pre-stream grift because you all know what to do. You all know how it works. Hit the like button. Absolutely important to like this. I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but I'm assuming that 50% of you haven't done your job because that's how it always starts out. Oh no, 2/3 of you haven't done your job. There's 153 viewers and only 55 likes. So please get down there and hit that like button. Let's get it going. We got to get those like numbers up so that we can get on YouTube's radar. We can get more and more and more recommendations and we can grow this channel. So do me that big favor. If you've been here more than 30 seconds, you clearly like it. So get down there and hit that like button. Boom. See, we're already up to we're halfway there. Now we're at the 50% mark. So come on, get down there, hit that like button, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, this is what we do. I just gave you the weekend preview. We do a maritime themed legal related stuff every Monday, and then we keep going through the week doing other law and pop culture related stuff, and then occasionally we just have rants. We just have rants. We rant about law things and non-law things. And for the special nights coming up on Friday, November 4th, will be the monthly F It Friday, the F It Friday stream. The F It Friday stream is just where I just rant about whatever. We talk about whatever. We read whatever.
Hello, Lindsay? I don't know. I know you're here before. I just never got to figure out how to say your name. I apologize. I'm like trying to catch up on 2 times. Hey, no worries. We barely started, so you'll catch up real quick. Welcome in.
We just kind of go nuts. It's all a pretense. The whole pretense is that we are grifting. It's just a griftathon. $100 shots. I've got to as I said, every time we do an Effort Friday from here on out, 25% of whatever comes in on that stream will go towards the next bottle of whiskey we drink on the next month's Effort Friday. And I'm crushed because I have to down a $500 bottle of whiskey if you give me the requisite shots. It'll be most likely it'll be a Dalmore King Alexander III. Oh, just crush my soul to drink that so fast. Anyway,
And we got. Thank you. Welcome to the Vice Squad. Thank you for the support. I absolutely love you. We just like to chill, hang out, enjoy each other's company, maybe get chaotic every once in a while. Welcome, welcome to the Vice Squad. And Chadwick Myers, fair and balanced, that is the name that has been gone from YouTube for a while. Yeah, I think the last time I talked with, well, the one and only time I talked with Farron was during the memorial stream. So yeah. Hopefully you guys heard that foghorn. If not, oops, I hit the foghorn before I talked. We need like and subscribe polls. Hey, coming soon.
anyway, that's coming up. Mark your calendars November 4th for the November Effort Friday stream. Save your coins, scrape together your coins, empty your piggy banks, and throw your money at me on that day. But for today, just do it's the regular grift stream thing applies. I'm going to read the chats as much as I can, respond to as much as I can. Super chats, just guarantee you get your questions answered and your comments read because you're parting with your hard-earned money. That's the least I can do. No minimum amount required. It's not even required. And again, subscribe, hit the notifications, and let's go with it. We got that out of the way. We've got 2 super chats to kick off the super chat day. This is one of my favorite ones. You mentioned this
Okay.
last week, I believe, as well.
Stop. Okay. Speaking of grifting, I tested out the Cash App stuff. It works. So, and I have it. Yay. It is bloop Vice baby YT. Bloop. There you go. There's the Cash App for you. I'll pin that. Fluffy, good morning, Connor. Your dad was awesome, man. I miss him. Hey. Welcome in. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate you. Much love and hugs to everyone.
Hey, Jeff, I'm actually a direct descendant of Thomas Nickerson, who is the cabin boy on the Essex. So this will be pretty cool for you. I'm sure you already know the story. Obviously, you know the story, but this will be cool for those of you here in the stream that are not direct descendants of anyone involved in that vessel. We have someone in here who is. XCOM are kicking us off with 5 Legal Vices memberships gifted.
And hey, welcome, Ellie. Good morning. Glad you could make it.
And we're doing so good. We're over 600 members right now, and that is just crazy. That's crazy to have 600 members so quickly. So when you get the gifted memberships, you got 1 month free, and then you get to decide. You have to decide whether you want to continue it or not. I hope you will, but hey, don't feel obligated. So Haas Knuckles, he's going to be here. He's going to be watching. He's got some direct descendant. I guess he's a direct descendant.
And Cameron, so sweet to hear your dad speak today. The internet is forever. Thank goodness. Thank goodness indeed. And welcome in. Good morning.
Ascendants. He has direct ascendants, ancestors, forebearers, who is the cabin boy on the Essex. Let's see how it works out for Thomas Nickerson. And Flux. Flux bringing the super chat, starting the week off right. Let's get started so we can die afterwards watching the trial. I think cannibalism would be preferable to watching the Brooks trial, I think. And speaking of cannibalism, oddly enough, if you follow my stream and you've seen me do the Taylor Business murder trial updates, they always get demonetized. Always. They just like a couple of times, even before I finish the stream, they're demonetized. But for some reason, the little tidbit that I released this morning is still monetized and it's still doing very well. So, hey, I don't know what that's all about, but I consider it pretty lucky. All right, so thank you very much for that, Flux. And we've got one. Okay, oh gosh, we've got a couple more. We got to dive right into this. Happy Monday, Vices and chat. Has the chat been named yet? Yeah. Oh, you missed all that, didn't you? During your brief absence, the chat has decided to call themselves the Vice Squad, which I think is really cool. Larax and the Vice Squad. Yeah. So the chat has decided to name themselves that. And just a map nailed to the wall. Cough, cough. When I was a boy, I ended up in a cabin with a Nickerson one time. You are sick people. What? Uh, okay.
King Bob, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Good to see ya. And yep, Vice Squad is the best squad ever. The best chat in the whole entire universe. No matter what.
Alrighty then. Oh yeah, for those of you that didn't see this last week, apparently during the Brooks trial, someone decided that I looked like the Lorax, and that led to the Larax, which has led to the Larax emoji that you're seeing plastered here in the chat. So, all right, again, we're going to dive into this right now. We're going to Ask a Mortician's video on the Essex. As always, please, if you haven't done so, go to Ask a Mortician's site. Link is down there below, and watch the original video. Give her the props for it, and you get and subscribe to her channel. She's a mortician, and she does some of the most amazing videos you've ever seen. So the least I can do is shill for her when I'm just pretty much using her streams every now and then, because she has some of the best videos on a lot of the subjects that I talk about.
Like and subscribe poll coming probably next stream. Which is probably going to be either in the evening or night tonight. Yeah. I remember the message that I sent Jeff. Really like the like and subscribe. So like and sub poll. I have a bone to pick with you, Jeff. I've been trying to suggest that you do a like and sub poll. Now, Good Logic did it. Interesting. Yeah, I do it every once in a while. I just forget to do it. So that's on me.
So let's bring this up, and we will kick off the day. It's about a 38-minute video, so it's about 5 hours. But the way I talk. So alrighty. Without further ado, Kevin H asks, "Is that a Baldo emoji?" Yes. Yes, it is. Or on Maritime Monday, we call it the floating buoy emoji. But yes, yes, it is a Baldo. On with the cannibalism. Great. Here I am doing a serious show about cannibalism, and I'm already talking about the Baldo. Here we go.
Jeff at the beginning sometimes forgot to do it, so I would remind him every day till he got used to it. Nice. I would email him funny poll ideas. Nice.
Remember when you were a kid and your parents would make you go spend a week with your aunt and
If the
cousin
volume's too low,
Kevin,
let me know.
and you hated it because Kevin was just so boring and he only wanted to play Super Nintendo? Well, the Essex whale ship was kind of
Yeah, I still don't know what this Baldo is. And now I really don't want to know after what D-What just said.
like that, except you were stuck with Kevin for over 6 months, and instead of Super Nintendo, he ate you. I didn't read Herman Melville's Moby Dick until I was 26 years old and driving what I referred to as the body van. This was after I graduated from mortuary school and was working basically as a long haul corpse trucker, taking bodies from Oxnard to San Diego to Palm Springs to Anaheim. And out in the desert, sometimes my only options were country radio or Christian radio, both of which I kind of enjoy. I'm not gonna lie to you. To get me through the long drives, I obtained a 22-hour long unabridged audiobook of Moby Dick on CD. What I didn't realize at the time, listening to Moby Dick, is that one, it was based on a true story.
I will trust you guys on not looking up the lore of Baldo, so I will forget about it.
And two, the true story was so much worse. When I was in Nantucket a few months ago, I learned the true story of the whaling ship Essex. My first response was, oh, we're doing a video on this. This is a concept that has become a staple of this channel. Historical events that you sort of know about, but you're sure the death and brutality are exaggerated, and then you do the research and it's much darker than you thought. Hard to believe, but the tiny island of Nantucket wasn't always the waspy respite of those salmon colored shorts and multi-million dollar vacation homes you know today. Before English settlers began migrating to the islands in the mid 1600s,
Shit, there we go. I tried to hit the.
and multi
There we
million
go.
dollar vacation homes you know today. Before English settlers began migrating to the islands in the mid
Oops, I didn't mean to swear.
1600s, Nantucket was home to thousands of the indigenous Wampanoag people. When the English arrived, they went, "We shall farm this land," and quickly stripped all the island's natural resources and left it depleted. Then they
Okay, now this is a good time to breach this a couple of subjects about today's stream. First of all, Kevin H, we mentioned a Baldo, and he signs up as the as the newest member. Congratulations, Kevin H, you degenerate! Welcome to the membership. Now you can use the Baldo emojis to your heart's content. And Unilinks, thoughts on Magnus Carlsen getting sued for $100 million. If you don't know who Magnus Carlsen is, he's a chess grand. He's a chess player that was involved in one of these grandmaster matches, and he allegedly cheated by sticking an electrified uh, adult toy inside of an orifice to get signals on what moves to make. I think it's hilarious, and I want to hear. I don't want to see the evidence. I want to hear the evidence in that trial. So yeah, thank you so much for that super chat. I think. And Haas Knuckles. While I live in Washington, if you live on Cape Cod, we Nickersons are legion. All right, cool. All right. So we're going to be talking about cannibalism today. So if eating people makes you squeamish, good, because it's supposed to. It's eating people. But actually, cannibalism was. Armatura is saying, would you ever get her on stream? God, I would. Would you ever get her on? I would love to interview her and do a stream with her, get her input on some of these things. But she's incredibly difficult to get a hold of. Not a lot of social media details out there, so I threw something out to the ether, which went completely ignored by by anyone that could actually help. Just saying, if anybody knows how to get her in contact with me, let me know, because I would love to have her on the stream. But we're talking about what?
And hello, Laurie. Welcome. I wonder who's going to be doing the underwater deep sea exploration trial with Congress. The what? I do not know. Justin, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day.
Thanks, I guess. Nailed to the wall. Kid touchers, 8-year-olds, dude, 8-year-olds. No idea what that's about, but moving right along. Cannibalism. I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but back in the day, hopefully it doesn't happen at all on ocean voyages now, because I think we're better prepared to deal with things and things go a little faster. But back in the day, cannibalism was kind of one of those things that just happened occasionally when you got into extreme situations, and it was accepted. I guess that's the word. It was understood. It's like, okay, when it comes down to you dying because you didn't eat, you know, Skippy, the cabin boy. We don't want to eat a Nickerson cabin boy because, hey, there's people here. If you just eat random Skippy the cabin boy or, Skippy the first mate, that's better than dying. So it's like, okay, it was an extreme situation. We understand something's got to be done. But when we talked about the case 2 weeks ago, which you should go back and watch if you haven't already done so, that sort of set a precedent because they didn't wait for someone to die. They drew lots to kill someone to eat them. So that's kind of where the court drew the line and said, okay, you can eat someone to survive. You just can't kill someone to eat them to survive. You kind of need to wait for them to die of natural causes. Uh, yeah, poor Porter. Porter got eaten 2 weeks ago. Go back and watch that stream. It was amusing. It was good. It was fun. No, this is not a repeat show. This is another cannibal story. This is definitely not a repeat story. This is a brand new cannibal story. I promise more cannibalism. I'm delivering today. Just kind of giving a background for people that didn't see the last one and don't understand how cannibalism worked back in the day. Soylent Green stream. Soylent Green is people. It's made of people. Great movie, by the way. And for those of you that asked, this is my Johnny Depp Mega Pint official Legal Vices Pimp Cup. It is loaded to the brim with Jack Coke, which shall forever and ever be known as the
Iris.
Lemmy in honor.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. If I called you for your survival situation and I die, go ahead and eat me, poach me in white wine and lemons like you would salmon. Huh. Salmon sounds good right now.
Of Lemmy Killmeister, who this is the only thing he drank for years and years and years and years. Motorhead lives forever. Rest in peace, Lemmy. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're that's the lens we're looking at this accident, this incident, this tragedy from. Cannibalism is acceptable in extreme situations. You just can't help people along so you can eat them. And Steve, before we jump back in, says today's installment of Why I Don't Ride on Boats, now with more cannibalism. As I said, I hope we're a little more prepared on our ocean voyages, that cannibalism doesn't really enter into it these days. I hope. I haven't heard of anything and I don't want to. Oh, wait. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I
don't know how to do this. Diamonds and Hannah. Welcome. Good to see you. Take a seat. Enjoy. Relax. The show. Good to see you.
I misspoke. Sorry. Magnus Carlsen, he's the Norwegian chess grandmaster. He's the grandmaster. And he was playing against some completely unranked, unknown dude. And the unknown ranked dude was the one that allegedly had the electrified adult toy wedged up an orifice to send signals. And he didn't take well to it. And he sued the grandmaster for 100 mil. So that I flip-flopped those around. No, I thought the other guy was completely unranked. The guy that was supposedly used the not unranked and not own. How'd just be called a minor project? Okay, I guess I misread that part of the story. I only read the story once. So forget everything I just said. I still think it's a funny situation, and I want to hear the evidence. I thought he was like an unranked guy, which was why it created like a big stir. But anyway, let's follow that case as it goes. That'll be fun. I hereby declare that Legal Vices, the Lorax, will pay more attention to that case, and we'll discuss it as it moves forward. All right, let's get back to the story here. Apologies for the misspeaking on literally every part of that story, except for the electrified adult toy wedged into an orifice. And we got 431 viewers and 220 likes. For those 430,
a spokesperson would be cool. It was wonderful Heard by your father, it was the Titan. Thank you. Oh, the Titan thing's still going on? Really? I didn't know that. Or am I just like misunderstanding the whole thing?
31 of you that are still sticking around after that weird little leeway, please hit the like button and let's jump back into it after. Oh my gosh. Yep. Uh, wait, where do we go? I didn't star it. Shoot. We have one here. I'm starting to get hungry. Better suppress my inner Chandler Halderson. Oh, well, see, we don't know if Chandler Halderson actually partook of flesh. I mean, he did, I think, but we know these guys did. And Xcomer Triple Z, a kinder surprise, is what a cannibal call a pregnant person. I hope it's not like a turducken or something. That'd be gross. I do not know the answer to that joke.
I think Congress put it off. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. And Paul, hello. Good morning.
And I don't think I want to. All right, we got to plow ahead here, so to speak. So again, keep that in mind. Cannibalism was accepted as a necessity in extremis.
They were like,
Oh, never mind. We shall be whalers. That will go much better than the farming.
Early Nantucket whaleboat crews were manned by 5 Wampanoag oarsmen and 1 white Nantucketer steering. White Nantucketers needed the skills and whale savvy of the Wampanoag, as well as the back-breaking labor they provided in killing the whales, mainly right whales at the time. Whale facts. Right whales were named right whales because they were the right whale to kill.
And that I did not know. They eat whale in Korea, and right whales are the whales that they eat. They harvest them like from Norway and places like that. I did not know that's why they were called right whales. Now I do.
By the early 1700s, Nantucket was a prosperous whaling port, but it didn't last. By the 1760s, the English had pretty effectively decimated both the Nantucket Wampanoag population and all the whales around Nantucket. Though Nantucket was the whaling capital of the world, many Nantucketers had never laid eyes on a whale. No matter, they built bigger boats capable of longer voyages and larger hulls, ships that could take them near the Arctic Circle to Africa to South America and the South Pacific. At this point, Nantucketers were pursuing sperm whales, which were far more desirable than right whales because
Cannibal
of their
stories.
plentiful oil.
Cannibal stories on the
This
sea.
whale oil was used to light the world by lamp oil and candles. It greased machinery. In fact, whale oil made the American Industrial Revolution possible. And so, during the 18th and 19th century, sperm whales were mercilessly hunted.
There's a humpback skeleton at Bishop Museum in Hawaii when I was growing up.
Sperm whale skeleton, Caitlin. It was a sperm whale skeleton. You can't even get your own childhood
Yes, it is.
trauma right.
And I think it's part of where my terror of whales came from, is walking under that huge, massive whale skeleton and actually getting a sense of how large they really are.
That's a fun fact about me. I'm afraid of whales.
What?
Whale facts. Caitlin is afraid of them. But after this experience in Nantucket, I went back to the source of my pain, Bishop Museum in Honolulu.
Tell you what, it's a beautiful day to enter the bowels of hell and face your fears.
Okay, here we go. It's a little less scary now, but still freaky.
As an adult, I have a new appreciation for these gentle, if still not unnaturally large, giants of the deep. The whalers and whale ship owners had a different kind of appreciation. The appreciation of just how much money the whales could make them.
This huge cavern at the top of the sperm whale's head contained spermaceti, which for the sperm whale helps with echolocation and buoyancy, but for sailors and whalers, it was just gold.
The sperm whale's head alone holds between 3 to 4 tons of that liquid gold spermaceti. A whaler could literally ladle the spermaceti into barrels. It's estimated that by the mid-19th century, whalers had reduced the world's sperm whale population by anywhere from 30 to 75%. Whale facts. There used to be 5 million whales on Earth, but due to commercial whaling, today there are about...
And excuse me, and Clara, good morning. Good maritime. I can't talk. Good maritime morning.
About 1.3 million whales. I don't
Wow.
need to tell you that destroying the world's whale population is bad, right? Not only do whales capture carbon in their bodies, like 33 tons of carbon in a larger whale, their poop may save us all. Whale poop contains iron and nitrogen, exactly what teeny tiny creatures called phytoplankton need to grow. Phytoplankton suck up about 40% of the world's CO2 and contribute at least 50% of the world's oxygen. So, have you thanked your whale poop today? So let's see. Depletion of natural resources, the near extinction of an indigenous population, whale destruction, and we haven't even gotten to the cannibalism yet. By 1819, the year the whale ship Essex left port,
Hmm.
the world's economy was foundering, but Nantucket's was still thriving. The price of whale oil was on the rise, and with it
Drive safe, Uncle Buck.
came opportunities for men to make money on a whale ship.
And the amount of whale harvesting that could be done on these ships was, I mean, literally fantastic. She was, she's saying that it was gold. It literally was gold. I mean, the amount of money that could be brought in because they were using these the whale the whale blubber, the spermaceti to light lamps all over the planet. And it's just fantastic the amount of money that was made during the whale trade. And incredibly, we think watching Deadliest Catch and watching the crab farming and stuff, excuse me, is dangerous. Imagine fighting with a whale to go. I mean, you can go fishing with a fishing hook all you want, but when you're trying to bring in a megaton whale and haul it up onto your ship, I mean, damn. And then sell it for just ridiculous amounts of money. Magician Sapphire, is this the incident that inspired Moby Dick? Yes, and we're just about to get to that part of it. We've got our background laid, we've got the foundation laid, and now we're going to jump into the shipping part of it, into the maritime aspect of it. Rita Joe, her funeral home cremated my uncle. They were lovely people. Oh, that's nice to know. She seems like a very nice person. X Homer Triple Z, why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Ha ha ha. Waka waka waka. Thank you so much for the super chat. Flux, sperm. She said sperm. Thank you, Flux, you 12-year-old. And just a map, nailed to the wall. She can blank right off with the trapping carbon BS. Okay. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. Anywho, wow. There's a comment, Matthew. Do you know that whale vomit was used to make perfume? Yeah, a lot of like whale things were made. Like parts of whale were used to make perfume. Yeah, like I said, it was just this animal that was so massive, and it was like the gift that kept on giving until we almost wiped out the entire population. All right, let's find out what happened to the people on board the Essex.
For Nantucketers, there was no greater calm. The Essex was commanded by first-time captain, 28-year-old George Pollard Jr. Pollard was young but experienced.
Um, Normally to watch a hooker live on the internet was to have to pay for the OnlyFans. Hey, this is the Vice Baby special. And out and about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. When I'm midstream and someone wants to talk to me, hey, I'm missing my story. Yep.
He had spent 4 years aboard the Essex as both second mate and first mate, so he knew the old ship well. Pollard was joined by fellow Nantucketers second mate Matthew Joy and first mate Owen Chase, both of which sound like the name of TikTok stars. Owen chases everything. I would literally die for him. The crew of 21 included Captain Pollard's 17-year-old cousin, Owen Coffin, a young man that Pollard
There's an unfortunate name for this particular sailor, Owen Coffin. We'll hear more about Owen Coffin later.
swore to protect, and his boyhood friends Charles Ramsdell and Barzillai Ray, all sailors. There was also the 14-year-old cabin boy, Thomas Nickerson, who called the
Hey!
moment he set foot on the Essex the most pleasing moment of my life. Oh,
Is that your relative? Your relative is here. We've got a descendant of him right here in our stream right now. We have stardom. We have fame in our midst. All right. If everybody hasn't liked this video yet, like it because we have a direct descendant of Mr. Nickerson right here in our chat as we speak.
Thomas. Oh, honey. Additionally, there were 7 more sailors from Nantucket and 7 black crew members from the mainland. Samuel Reed,
And Wheat Toast, welcome. Jeff brings back great joy and great sadness still missed. Indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard.
Richard Peterson, Lawson Thomas, Charles Shorter, Isaiah Shepard, William Bond, and Henry DeWitt. On the one hand, being a black whaler meant you were guaranteed to be paid no less than your white counterparts. The Nantucketers were Quakers and abolitionists, after all. But realistically, black crew members were the new Wampanoag. Backbreaking work, no opportunities for advancement, they got the worst quarters and food, and were always seen as outsiders. All things that would not help them later. Am I doing enough to build up the uncomfortable sense of foreboding here? On August 12th, 1918, the Essex and her crew set out for what they thought would be a bountiful 2-year voyage to South America. Despite being an old ship and a small ship, the Essex was believed to be lucky. That is, until they hit bad weather in the Gulf Stream and suffered a knockdown where the boat rolled over 90 degrees. But Captain Pollard stayed calm. Maybe too calm. Many believed it was his slowness to react to the storm that got them knocked down in the first place. And gradually, the ballast was able to right the ship. When the storm passed, the men surveyed the damage. Some sails were destroyed, and 2 of her 5 whaleboats were lost, a third whaleboat badly damaged. A successful whale ship needed 3 working whaleboats for a hunt and 2 spares. At this point, Captain Pollard decided to return to Nantucket for repairs, but first mate and TikTok star Owen Chase challenged him, saying they should continue to the Azores and pick up new boats there. Pollard yielded to Chase, and they continued on. The Azores, unfortunately, provided no new whaleboats. It wasn't until weeks later that Pollard was able to obtain a single old, leaky whaleboat from a wrecked ship off the coast of West Africa. With just enough whaleboats to continue on, the Essex turned south and sailed in search of its prey.
Celestial Force, welcome. Hey, Connor, good to see you. Going to I'm going to try and learn how to talk when I finish this. Hey, Connor, good to see you. Going to hop in here and lurk and work. The best way to enjoy your maritime stuff is to lurk and work.
Then, between Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires, the lookout cried, "There she blows!"
And so you see this, how these whaling expeditions weren't go out for 1 month or 2 months. They were going out for 2 years at a time, where you catch the whale, you process it, you store it, you trade it somewhere, you go back for more, and you keep doing this for an extended period of time. And it's sort of like anything, the longer you drive a car, the longer you drive a motorcycle, the longer you do something and only that thing for a certain length of time, the more chance there are that something's going to go wrong. So what could possibly go wrong here? Well, we all know what goes wrong here because it's in the title of my video. Cannibalism goes on. So, for those who are asking about the hat, this is my Polish fisherman captain's hat from Polish fisherman cap making company Sturkowski in Poland. This is directly from Poland, from the company that actually makes all of the Polish fisherman hats.
And I learned that I am wearing the Model 3 of the same design that he's wearing. And the only reason why I know it's a Model 3 is because I got an email from them saying, hey, would you like to review your product? I'm like, oh, cool. I have the Model 3, not Model 1.
Anyway, let's go.
Yes, they really said that. Spying a whale sent the Essex crew into a frenzy of activity. 3 whaleboats were hastily loaded with gear, namely harpoons and harpoon lines. This was why they were here. Herman Melville said in Moby Dick that it was a dead whale or a stove boat, meaning a boat with a hole smashed into it. Either you kill the whale or the whale kills you. A brief Whale Hunt 101. The 3 boats would race each other to get to the whale first. Being the first to reach the whale and kill it gave the victor bragging rights. But they couldn't come in too hot and frighten the whale. Whales have great hearing, so too much splashing could chase them away. When the
Or
whale
make
was
them angry.
close enough, the harpooner would plunge the 5 or 6 foot long harpoon into the 80-ton animal. The harpoon wasn't meant to kill the whale, just make sure he couldn't get away. Obviously, when someone harpoons you, you don't stick around. The panicked creature would thrash, dive,
Yeah, that's why I'm losing weight. I'm tired of people trying to harpoon me or push me back in the water. So I get it.
and swim away, hauling the whaleboat behind it on a Nantucket sleigh ride. After the whale exhausted itself, the whaleboat crew drew closer to make the kill. With a lance, the mate would attempt to stab the heart or lungs of the whale, sometimes needing to stab the animal 10 or 15 times. The whale would start to choke, spouting a 20-foot geyser of blood. Chimney's afire! The mate would shout.
And Ash Axiom, thank you so much for the 15 on Cash App. I really, really appreciate you. For cash for you, LOL. I thank you. That's very generous. Thank you, thank you.
Out.
Warning: graphic
After more
content.
thrashing about, more spewing of blood and vomiting, the whale would swim in smaller and smaller circles called the flurry before finally dying and turning over on its side, or fin out. Bobbing in a sea of blood and gore, the hunt was over, and it was time to slowly tow the whale headfirst back to the ship. The dead whale was then processed, its blubber peeled from its body in long strips, then boiled down to extract the oil. The whale was decapitated, and the precious spermaceti was lifted out by buckets, as much as 500 gallons. Once all the blubber, spermaceti, and ambergris, a valuable waxy substance used to make perfume and found in the intestinal tract, had been removed from the whale, the carcass was dumped back in the ocean, often to waiting sharks. All in all, processing a sperm whale was a painful, pungent endeavor that could take days to complete. As they
Okay, first of all, we got a Meme Copium raid here. Welcome everybody from Meme Copium. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That's why you're here. And we're talking about cannibalism. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of rough to watch. I mean, because we're talking about this is the way things got done back in the day. This is how we got things. I mean, now we try not to do such things to whales, largely prohibited. But this is kind of how we did things. You go, you go buy your Kentucky Fried Chicken. The chickens aren't born fried. Something really horrible has to happen to that chicken before it gets on your plate. Back in the day, you wanted blubber for soap or perfume or lamp oil. You needed the whales. You had to do something. This is just how we did things 200 years ago. So it's rough to listen to, but hey, nature is fucking rough. You go watch the National Geographic channel, and everybody's like, "Oh, the poor little gazelle is being like shredded to pieces by the lions." Well, that's how the lions eat, and this is how we ate. This is how we got our products 200 years ago.
neared Cape Horn, the Essex had been out for 4 months and only killed 1 whale. If this is how things were going to be, their voyage would be far more than the planned 2 years.
Okay, again, this is a rant here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Somebody made a comment. It's time for a mini rant. Where's the mini rant? Oh shit, I lost it. Someone was saying that watching how they make shark fin. Oh, here it is. It was Bella Maddie's mama. How they make shark fin soup is hard to hear and watch. So that's just fucking wrong. That's just fucking cruel and wrong. I mean, they don't even kill the sharks. They just like grab the shark, whack the fin off, and let the shark die. Or if they do kill it, they just chuck it. They don't want the rest of the shark. They just take the fin, which is a fucking horrible thing to do. There's no justification. I mean, but like this was just how we made lamp oil, how we made like soap, how we made things back in the day. It was using whale fat, using whale blubber, using the spermaceti, using different parts of the whale. But yeah, shark fin soup. The people that do the shark fin soup, wow, say that 3 times fast. Shark fin soup should just be made into shark fin soup.
But their luck turned when they made it to the waters off the coast of Chile and killed and processed approximately 11 whales.
Yeah.
But Captain Pollard wasn't going to give his crew a vacation. He wanted to head to an area thousands of miles off the coast of Peru, further than many whale ships dared venture, called the offshore ground. Supposedly, the place was lousy with whales. But before heading out, 2 things happened. One of the black sailors, Henry DeWitt, deserted the ship in Ecuador, which proved to be an excellent decision on the part of Mr. DeWitt. And 2, the Essex stopped at the Galapagos Islands, where they captured 180 tortoises for food.
Oops.
The tortoises weren't killed. They were allowed to roam about the ship, skittering across the deck in rough weather, periodically being eaten. Then, as a prank, one of the crew members set fire to nearby Charles Island, now Floriana Island, destroying the island's ecosystem and contributing to the extinction of its specific, scientifically significant Galapagos tortoises. You're doing great, boys. Now, here's where things get very
Yay,
Moby
people.
Dick. The Essex is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean when Nickerson, remember the cabin boy who was like,
this is amazing, I'm on a whale ship,
spots a giant, reportedly 85-foot-long whale acting strangely nearby. Now, the captain and the others are off in whaleboats pursuing a whale. And Nickerson's like,
so...
Suddenly, the whale barrels towards the Essex port side. First mate Owen Chase happens to be aboard the Essex because his whale ship was smashed by another whale's tail and needed repairs. It's not been a great day at the office. Chase calls to turn the ship away, but it's too late, and the enormous whale rams the side of the ship. The crew falls, tortoises are flying around, the whole ship trembles. Chase and the crew are speechless. To their knowledge, this was the first time ever that a whale had attacked a ship. In all the years men were going around brutally slaughtering the whales, this was the first whale's revenge. The whale bumps the underside of the Essex and then reappears, apparently stunned. Chase makes a move to lance the whale, but stops, thinking its flukes were too close to the rudder. This could actually have been the Essex's fatal mistake. It might have been better to have a damaged rudder than no ship at all. I'm pretty sure anything is better than no ship at all.
Yeah, pretty much. Take the damage and keep the ship. Because without the ship, cannibalism happens.
In this scenario, the whale swims a few hundred yards away, doubles its speed, and swims at the ship again. This time it hit the Essex on the port bow, pushing the 238-ton Essex backwards and flooding and capsizing the ship. Chase and Nickerson and the men left on the ship barely have time to grab some navigational equipment and scramble into a whaleboat. Only 2 miles away, Captain Pollard and the other sailors out on the whaleboats look around and go, hey, haven't you guys seen
That's what
the
happened
ship? But the Essex had disappeared, her capsized hull barely floating above the waterline. From the first hit to the sinking of the ship, it only took 10 minutes.
Oh, welcome to cannibalism, Lefty. Welcome, welcome.
All Chase could say in response to the captain's inquiry was,
"We've been stove by a whale."
So picture this. You're the captain of this huge whaleboat in the middle of the ocean, and that boat is now missing. And there's a killer whale on the loose. Not a killer whale like an orca, like an 85
Instead of whaling, it'll be called humaning.
ton murderous whale.
Boo.
Now, to be fair, at the time, this would be absolutely terrifying, and there's a vengeful whale would be your explanation as you're floating there, pretty much screwed. But the hindsight of science and history tells us that this huge sperm whale was more than likely confused by all the banging repair sounds coming from the ship, and mistook them for another aggressive male whale. Remember, these whales have terrible eyesight and locate mainly through sound. But they also have close family and kin groups, and maybe over time, the violent and random slaughtering of their family made the young males a little aggressive. Meanwhile, floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Captain Pollard ordered the crew to start salvaging anything they could, as much food and fresh water as possible, and any equipment they could safely carry in the whale boats. 2 hogs and some tortoises swam to the boats and were pulled aboard.
So that answered the question chat was asking, what happened to the tortoises? Or did the tortoises escape? Well, some of them. Some of the tortoises escaped. There'll be more about tortoises later. Hog, poor pig.
Everyone agrees they can't.
There's even dolphins attacking boats in certain areas at this point. Yeah. Good job, Nod. Exactly, Bridget. And good to see you. Vice Baby, could you imagine if Cookie Monster like eating humans more than cookies? You know what? As soon as I read that, I had a beautiful image in my head just pop up. MQ. Welcome, welcome. I love Ask a Mortician, aka Caitlin. Your dad has a great taste. Yeah, I guess so. He's alright. Good to see you, MQ. I can do cruelty to animals, humans, nay brothers, but no the animals, yeah.
Head for the closest islands, the Marquesas, which were 1,200 miles away, because they feared cannibalism. Pollard wanted to head for the next nearest islands, the Society Islands. Again, Owen Chase challenged him. Chase believed that the Society Islands also put them in danger of cannibalism, and that they should sail for South America. Turns out the Society Islands, where there had been an English mission for more than 20 years, would have been a great option. But once again, Pollard backed down and agreed to Chase's plan. South America or bust. The 20 remaining.
So Chase is causing all. I mean, he's causing all these problems. It's ironic that they're like worried about cannibals being on every island in the Pacific. Oh well.
Crew members were split between the 3 whale boats. Each boat got 200 pounds of hardtack, basically flour and water, cracker, biscuit, 65 gallons of water, and 2 Galapagos tortoises. The leader of each boat got a pistol or musket, and off they went. The crew at first decided to try and stay together. Not only did this boost morale, but second mate Matthew Joy's boat was without any navigational equipment. At the mercy of the elements, only able to sail with the wind, the boats struggled their way across the open water, just hoping they were being blown in the right direction. Are you trapped in a small boat in the middle of the
Audiobook.
30-day
Back to the whale boats. One thing that was non-negotiable is that their food and water had to last 2 months. That meant their rations of food and water were less than a third of what an adult man needed. Each man was allotted 6 ounces of hardtack and half a pint of water a day. Already from the constant exposure to salt water, painful sores were breaking out on the whaler's skin. On only the 6th day out, the men in Owen Chase's boat were miserable from thirst because their biscuits had been soaked with salt water and they continued to eat them. They were all in the early stages of hypernatremia, a condition where there's too much sodium in the body. After less than
Yeah, and that's the thing. They say drinking seawater will kill you, but essentially that's what it does. You have an excessive buildup of salt, which ironically dehydrates you more, leads to hallucinations and eventually death. So fresh water is important.
10 days out, not only was Chase's boat barely holding together, remember it had already been smashed pre-sinking, but the captain's boat required repairs after being attacked by a killer whale, literally a killer whale this time, also known for
Megan, hello. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Good morning. Oh, hope you're having an awesome morning. Oh, Diwa says that's miserable. To Megan Fox, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I know. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in my chat in a while.
for never knowingly attacking humans in the wild. What's going on with this crew? After 17 days sailing south, they were even further from South America. The winds had pushed them, and they were now 3,000 miles away. They came close to the Society Islands in Tahiti, but because of that pesky cannibalism, they turned away. I would have been like, maybe just drop me off. I'll risk the cannibalism. Driven to drink their own urine, the men were facing a gruesome death by dehydration. They were in a state where their mouths no longer created saliva.
Ugh.
Their tongues stuck to their teeth and mouth. They spoke.
And Fru, hopefully that's how you say your name. Fru, hello from Glaveston. I don't know where that is, but hey, hello from Utah.
Obsessively about their thirst to the point where they were losing the ability to speak. When a wind did pick up, it pushed them the wrong way. Their rations paltry, their tortoises long gone, and their skin pulled tight on their skulls, the men were days away from death. But
Well,
And Island, thank you for dropping that link and welcome. Good to see you, sis. And Alicia, jeez, I really can't talk this morning. Alicia G, member for 1 month of the Vice Squad. Thank you for the support, and hopefully you'll continue the support. I really, really appreciate you.
darn, I tried to cut it off just before this sentence because there's hope on the horizon. Uh, but dang, so literally everything possible is going wrong. And ironically, this is another one of these disasters where we're talking about where it wasn't greed on the part of the owners or
Holy shit. Tankrat, thank you for the 20 Vice Baby gifted membership. God. Wow. Really appreciate you. Fru, Sarah Beth, AJ, the OG Carol, D. Robertson, Lisa. I lost it. Jen, the couch fairy, nice. Coyote Bait, Brummy Nano 2, Black Bear, Chris, Monica, Angel. I lost it again. Oh, Spider Soldier, nice. Lori, Alita, can't say that name. Beverly, and Josephine. Oh, and Wolfram too. Nice. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Tankrat. I really appreciate you. And Daily Dysfunction. Welcome in. Good to see you. There's only 4 species that actively target humans: polar bear, jaguars, tigers, and crocodiles. Gotcha. Oh, Iris. Hey, good to see you. Did I miss anyone? Did I miss anything? I did not. Okay, sweet.
some other
Oh, Glaveston's in California. Is that what you're saying, Alicia?
cost cutting measure that led to this. This was just the first recorded incident of a hunted whale fighting back. For whatever reason, the whale attacked the ship and sunk it, and then they got attacked by an actual killer whale. She just said orca later on. So this is just one of these unfortunate risks of the sea. This is a peril that
Galveston? Hey, Alan, don't judge me, okay? I don't know how to say words. You leave me alone, sir. How dare you? Still, I don't know. Let's continue the video.
these whaling boats had to deal with all the time. Like long extended voyages, calm situations where there's no wind and they just sit there for weeks and weeks at a time, and you go through the supplies, you're not catching fish. It's just, like literally, this is just one of these deals where everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and the more they get in, the more things go wrong. I got to clear 2 of these real quick. All this cannibalism talk makes me want a Chianti. I fava beans. Mmm, yummy. Ex Homer, what does a cannibal get after a one night stand? Breakfast in bed. Hey, hey, hey. All right, whatever. This the sea is always right. Don't bring that crap around here. That crap is not welcome around here. Ugh, what a horrible show that was. All right, Shamu's revenge. Yes, we need Shamu. Shamu gets revenge. But also so does the big giant sperm whale. Well, now we're getting into dire straits, but hope is on the horizon. But as you know from the title of the video, didn't quite work out. Let's see what kind of hope didn't work out.
On December 20th, hope appeared on the horizon in the form of Henderson Island.
Yay!
Seeing green on the island, they staggered onto land, hoping for water and sustenance. They did find a spring that allowed them to stave off death, but the island proved unsustainable. After less than a week of eating all the birds, eggs, and fish they could find, they found they had once again decimated an entire island's resources.
MQ, thank you for the 2. I really appreciate you. I'm opting in for liver. Livers are so freaking good. I love eating livers.
A very Nantucket thing to do. So, on December 26th, after several days of food and fresh water, the Essex crew decided to leave Henderson Island. But 3 men decided to stay behind, 1 man from each boat. All 3 men were off-islanders, and they worried about their chances of survival, considering how the Nantucketers tended to
Iris, hey, sorry hungover and headed to the beach just another weekend. Oh yeah, the best ever.
look out for their own. Not to mention, second mate Matthew Joy was already ill from tuberculosis, and his death was imminent. Leaving those 3 men behind, the crew of the Essex zigzagged.
And how shitty would that be if you're like one of those guys that gets left by? It's like, sorry, you got TB. Just enjoy the island that has no more resources because we just ate them all. Yeah. I mean, these poor bastards. Like, seriously, how horrible would that be? Sorry, you guys, you just stay behind. Good luck. Let's see how that played out.
Bagged their way across the ocean, trying to make their way to Easter Island. But on January 4th, 44 days since they left their ship, Chase and Pollard realized they had no hope of reaching Easter Island. On January 10th, Matthew Joy died. Since things were desperate, but not quite cannibalism desperate, he was buried at sea.
Oops.
The
There goes
new
some protein.
leader of Joy's boat, Obed Hendricks, discovered that Joy had not been keeping watch over the boat's rations, and the food and water was basically gone. From here, things got rapidly worse. Chase's boat became separated from Pollard and Hendricks's boat. And on January 20th, the only black whaler in Chase's boat, Richard Peterson, refused his ration of bread and died. He wasn't eaten and was given a proper burial at sea. According to the white guys from Nantucket who survived. I'm just saying. It's no surprise that a black whaler was the first to die of malnutrition. As I mentioned, they were likely given poorer diets than their white counterparts, and thus had less fat on their bodies. The amount of fat on a person especially matters in a starvation situation, as the body has more to burn through. Because of their higher body fat percentage, women tend to fare better in starvation scenarios.
Yeah, so fuck all y'all. Next time I'm caught in a cannibal situation, I'm going to outlive everybody else. I'll be doing the one eating.
Remember our friends in the Donner Party? Speaking of cannibalism, on the same day that Richard Peterson died, January 20th, Lawson Thomas, a black man on Hendricks's boat, died as well. With the rations dangerously low, Captain Pollard and Hendricks made the grim decision to eat his corpse. The irony is that if they had only chanced those alleged scary cannibals in the Society Islands, perhaps they themselves wouldn't have had to become the cannibals. Thomas's body probably only gave them about 30 pounds of very lean meat. But since they ran out of hardtack the day after his death, they were happy.
And good morning, Rhonda. Hank's misguided entitlement. Good to see ya.
happy to have it. On
Delish.
January 23rd, another black crewman, Charles Shorter, died. And like Thomas before, his body was consumed. Okay, I'm not going to say that these three black whalers were victims of the Essex crew expediting nature, so to speak. Signs do point to their health being worse than Pollard and his Nantucket friends. But it seems awfully convenient that the first men to die.
I am here to serve, Megan Fox. I'm glad it's helping. We're all in this together.
Aside from the guy with tuberculosis, were black. I want to remind you of this concept from the Donner Party video. Daniel James Brown, author of the book The Indifferent Stars Above, wrote, "When killing to survive, it's easiest to kill whatever and whomever you are least attached to. Cattle before horses, dogs before people, strangers before acquaintances, acquaintances before friends, friends before family."
Yep.
Unlike
And Ginger with the Soul, good morning. Welcome in.
the Native American men who took off when the Donner Party started salivating over them, the black men on these whaleboats had nowhere to go. Was this the exact situation that the three men left behind on Henderson Island feared? That it would become the Nantucketers versus everyone else? And how ferocious was the Nantucketers' loyalty to those they were most attached to? Meanwhile, on Owen Chase's boat, separated from everyone else, the men could barely move. They were helpless without the strength to steer the boat or handle the sails, so they lay in the boat going where the wind and water took them. Back on Hendrix's boat, Isaiah Shepard died on January 27th.
Convenient again.
He was the
There we
third
go.
black whaler to be eaten in 7 days. And then the next day, January 28th, Samuel Reed, another black whaler, died and was eaten. At this point, William Bond was the only remaining.
William Bond. How do you think old William Bond is starting to feel right about now? The deck is stacked against him. How convenient that everyone that's died up to this point, except for the guy that was going to die anyway, was non-white. Poor William Bond. What happens to him?
Black whaler. Sleep with one eye open, Bill. You might be saying, Caitlin, those guys had eaten a lot of human flesh by this point. Weren't they at least on the nutritional upswing? Unfortunately, no. The men that Pollard and his crew ate were devoid of fat. In order for the human body to properly digest food, it needs fat. Fat not only transports nutrients throughout the body, but it also facilitates absorption.
And
There
it
was
tastes
no fat
better.
on these men. Therefore, despite each man eating as much as 3,000 calories, the lack of fat made it impossible for the nutrients to be effectively absorbed.
See, this is why you people that don't know how to eat steak, Koreans are bad for this. You get a steak that has just this amazing layer of fat on it, and they just like trim it down to where it's just solid muscle. That's why it doesn't taste good. It has no value in it. You need the fat. Fat's what makes it taste good. Fat and salt. Don't trim the fat off the meat.
So the men continued to starve. By January 29th, Hendrick's boat had disappeared. Without navigational equipment on board, that boat was all but doomed. Too weak to search for them, Captain Pollard, his remaining Nantucketers, and Samuel Reed's half-eaten corpse found themselves alone on the sea. But this is the Essex. Things can always get worse. It's time for murder. By February 6th, the men in Pollard's boat were again without food. It was then that Charles Ramsdell made a desperate suggestion: draw lots to see who would be killed and eaten.
This is exactly what happened in the case we talked about 2 weeks ago. They just drew lots, the four of them. And that's how they decided who was going to go next, rather than waiting for the inevitable. 2 quick comments here. Random NPC number 3, legal vices, women and children first, applies to all scenarios. Jeff, this last point suggests you first. Come and get me. You gotta kill me to eat me, unless you're an attractive female. Let's go.
Next. At first, Captain Pollard refused, but when Coffin and Ray joined in support of Ramsdell's suggestion, Pollard, once again, folded. They
What a
put
wuss of a
scraps of
captain.
paper in a hat and drew. The deadly lot fell to Owen Coffin, who you may remember was the captain's young cousin, the boy he swore to protect, and now he's going to eat him.
That's not what you promised to do.
My lad, if you don't like your lot, I'll shoot the first man that touches you, the captain said. He then offered to take Coffin's place, but
So again, we talked about this. I mentioned this earlier. Let's see what fate befalls the unfortunately named Coffin. Yeah, so Coffin was the one whose number came up to be killed. uh, as if the name, he's jinxed by the name. Libby asks, "Morning, Jeff. There was more than one ship cannibalism." Oh yeah, we can keep the cannibal stories going for quite a while. I don't think we will, but we could. The one we did 2 weeks ago and this are probably the two preeminent cannibalism maritime stories out there. But yeah, the fat is where the flavor is on the steak. That's what my dad always said, and he was right. Absolutely, that's where the flavor is, man. So you want me? Come and get me. Let's get back to it.
Coffin, rough name buddy, insisted that he fulfill his fate. I like it as well as any other, he said, which was probably true at that point. They drew lots again to see who would kill Coffin, and the honor fell to Ramsdell. And now it was Ramsdell, the guy who had suggested this whole thing in the first place, who balked, at first refusing to kill his boyhood friend, before eventually submitting. Before Coffin died, he gave Pollard a message for his mother that Pollard promised to deliver if he ever got back to Nantucket. Coffin was then shot, butchered, and consumed. Over on Chase's ship, things had not improved. On February 8th, Isaac Cole began ranting, screaming, and convulsing. For hours, unable to speak, he moaned and shook. Finally, late that afternoon, he died. Unlike Pollard and Hendricks, in the 78 days since they left the Essex, this was Chase's first time faced with eating a crew member. After careful consideration, the men dispatched Cole and ate him, despite the flesh quickly turning green and going rancid. By February 14th, all of Cole had been eaten. 4 days later, Benjamin Lawrence was standing at the steering oar when he spotted a sail. Chase and young Nickerson struggled to their feet to see it for themselves. It was a ship from London, the Indian, and after chasing her down, she caught sight of the tiny boat. When asked who they were, all Chase could muster was,
Essex. Whale ship. Nantucket.
The crew of the Indian immediately brought Chase, Nickerson, and Lawrence aboard, their captain calling them the
Picture of suffering and misery.
300 miles south. Captain Pollard and Ramsdell were barely holding on. Barzillai Ray had died 12 days prior. They ate him, of course. In desperation, Pollard and Ramsdell cracked open the remaining bones of the men they'd eaten to suck out the marrow. Interestingly, this technique gave the men the fat they needed to survive. Drifting in and out of consciousness, the end seemed near for Pollard and Ramsdell, when suddenly they were brought to by shouting. It was February 23rd, and they had been found by the ship Dauphin. Happening upon Pollard's whaleboat, they were met with the grisly sight of two living skeletons, still sucking the marrow from, quote, the bones of the dead messmates, which they were loath to part with. Finally, for the 8 remaining Essex survivors, their torment was over. And yes, I did say 8. Remember those 3 guys who stayed back on Henderson Island? They were soon rescued, alive. The same could not be said for the separated boat containing Ovid Hendricks, Joseph West, and William Bond. Their whaleboat and skeletons were found washed up on a remote island months after they separated from Pollard.
Wow. There you go.
And there you have it. Quite the whale of a tale. So much so that the story of the Essex was one of the inspirations for Herman Melville in writing Moby Dick, along with another alleged violent white
Vice Baby, true story. I can't make this up. I even have a pic to prove. Local bar and grill had sign that says fresh and aged meat. This put a new thought into the sign in this story. Nice. And Sue Magic, welcome, welcome. Good to see ya.
White whale off Chile called Mocha Dick, which, haha, this is a sponsored video. You can't demonetize me for saying Mocha Dick, Mocha Dick, Mocha Dick. It's history, people. Melville actually met Owen Chase's son, William Henry Chase, while the whale ship he was on socialized with William's ship. Having heard the story about William's father, he eagerly asked for the details. They talked, and William loaned Melville a copy of Chase's book about the voyage, published in 1821.
So that was the Jared Coffin House right there, and that's used to be the Ocean House, and it's where Herman Melville stayed in Nantucket while he was writing Moby Dick.
D Flux is doing her own stream right now, unfortunately. But hey, this was when Flux was born. This event has brought Flux into the world.
Yeah.
One could argue that the tale of the Essex ended better than Moby Dick. In that story, only Ishmael remained after the whale attack, clinging to a coffin for life. Life-saving coffin? Owen coffin? Get it? It's 11th grade English class in here today. But survivors of the Essex who made it home had to live with what transpired in those whaleboats and try to somehow rebuild their careers.
Behind me was the house of Captain George Pollard, the captain of the Essex. Less than a year after the Essex, he was given command of a separate whaling vessel called the Two Brothers, which he also ran aground off Hawaii, thus destroying 2 entire whaling ships. And he came back to
To everyone who's wondering where Flux is right now, she's doing her Maritime Morning, Jesus. Her Minecraft morning stream.
Nantucket, and he's like, no one's ever going to give me a job as a whaling captain again. And they didn't. He joined the Night's Watch of Nantucket, and that's how he ended his career.
Wow. So it's interesting that the guys that they essentially left on a deserted island are the 3 that survived relatively in good condition. And it's good they remembered them and went and picked them back up again. Wow, that was that's a...
And Lisa, hello, how are you doing?
That's a pretty gruesome tale, and now we're dealing with the aftermath here. A couple things here. Nick Campbell, could you preserve the meat by drenching it in seawater? No, there's not high enough salt content. I mean, it would just rot and fall apart. That's why things rot and fall apart in the ocean. It's just, you need to pack it in salt to preserve it. And Flux, providing her usual intelligent banter here. Ha ha ha, Mocha Dick. Oh, Flux, you make me laugh. I swear to God. And speaking of people that we all know and love and find to be funny, I was just getting text messages from our very own candidate for Salt Lake County District Attorney Danny On is sending me a text message saying, "The morning crew, you morning crew are brutal." She's listening as she goes about her day, waving at people and getting out the vote. Danny On said to tell all of you in the chat you're brutal and to tell you hi and good morning. So that's passing along the text message from Salt Lake County District Attorney candidate Danny On. Billy Anderson, not waiting for someone to die of starvation is a better idea. Starved dude would have little or no actual nutritional value for the rest of them. While it makes sense from a nutritional perspective, the law still takes a pretty dim view of murdering people. And I mean, that's literally, you don't get any more premeditated than drawing straws to see who the unlucky fuck is that's going to get whacked so that everybody else can try to survive a little bit longer. No, manwich. A manwich, it's a meal. And Danny, if you're listening, everybody is sending their love to you. Good job. Go out there and get out the vote and beat Sim Gill. Yeah, lots of manwich comments. So, all right, let's. We've got 20 more minutes before the Darrell. Sorry, didn't mean to mispronounce your name, if that is your name, which apparently it isn't. Darrell Brooks trial. Got about 20 more minutes to go, so let's burn through this, and then there's a fun little video to watch after this.
Owen Chase went on to have an illustrious career as a whale ship captain, but his personal life was marked with death and heartbreak.
And
After
cannibalism.
retiring from the sea, Chase could never shake the trauma of his time in the Essex whaleboat, and he took to hiding food in his attic. Mental illness and terrible headaches were a constant companion in his old age. He died in 1869, and Pollard died in 1870.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's an interesting thing that he was so traumatized and had such a mental burden from this that he was hoarding food for the rest of his life. That's something like Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was I mean, she was so tiny and so small and so thin, like that she essentially looked borderline anorexic for a lot of her life. If you read her biography, that's the one thing she was saying. She survived the Holocaust, and she was saying that like for the rest of her life she had this guilt about eating food. I mean, when you've been truly, I mean, we've all had hunger pangs. We've all been, oh damn, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten for a day. But when you have those true lack of food, hunger pains going on, I mean, I can't imagine what it would do to your brain. Jillian N., thank you so much for the super chat. Great to finally know what is meant by right whale in the song The Wellerman. Any chance we could end the stream with that song if there's time? YouTube has a lot of terrific versions. Mocha Dick, lols. There's a lot of good sea shanties out there. The Wellerman, yeah, we might be able to do that if we have some time. Yeah, we'll see. Can't make any promises. Haas Knuckles is the Cabin Boy's direct descendant. For those of you that are just joining us, we have 923 current viewers and only 489 likes. Come on, guys. We need to get at least 600 likes. 300 of you, at least 300 of you haven't done your damn job. Almost 400 of you, 500 of you haven't done your jobs, I'm sure. So get down there, hit that like button. We can jump up to 900 likes that fast. And we're doing well on the subscriptions too, so please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But for those of you that are just joining us late, Haas Knuckles says that he is the direct descendant of the cabin boy on the Essex. One of the survivors. Obviously, he's a survivor because Haas Knuckles is here to tell us about it. Would drawing straws to see who dies be considered murder or voluntary suicide sacrifice? Well, you can't really volunteer to be cannibalized. There was a recent German case, and it was like a sexual thing where the guy volunteered. Someone was looking for someone to eat, and someone volunteered to eat them, and someone volunteered to be eaten, and they kind of hooked up, but they were still found guilty of murder. Yeah, it's still the voluntary, premeditated taking of a human life. Yeah, as long as everyone agrees to participate, no, you still can't really take the human life. That's kind of how they look at it. Right or wrong, that's what our social mores have dictated. Cabin boy like Chris Elliott. Wow, there's a blast from the past. Chris Elliott, cabin boy. Red rum. All right, we're probably not going to get to the how long is the funny video? Now we're not going to have time to get to the funny video here, but we'll talk about it in just a second. Anywho, let's wrap this up.
People in Nantucket had a difficult time talking about the Essex tragedy for decades to come. The cannibalism was bad enough, but the abolitionist Nantucketer Quakers were deeply embarrassed. The first time Frederick Douglass spoke before a white audience was in Nantucket, and yet most of the men to die and be eaten from the Essex were black. The influential Quakers who controlled the town spent the years following the Essex trying to imprint a different, more positive impression of race relations in Nantucket. They spoke of black whalers' massive conflict.
Oh, and used to be younger. Welcome. Good morning to you. Finally caught alive. Nice. Didn't realize I'm actually ready to listen to Jeff's voice again. Hey, congratulations. Jeff always making us listen to cannibalism stories. Hey, whatever catches people's minds, right? And we are disgusting degenerates that we love cannibalism stories.
Contributions to the whaling economy, the growing number of black Nantucketers, a ship with an all black crew that brought in 2,280 barrels of oil and was dubbed the greatest voyage ever made in the Nantucket Enquirer. Ah, the relatable public relations nightmare of trying to reinvent your image as a place that doesn't eat their black whalers. So, there you have it, another real life tale of tragedy and, well, cannibalism that was actually so much worse than I knew. Thanks again to Audible. Support us by going to audible.com/mortician or texting mortician to 500 500. You get free audiobooks and it helps the whales. Don't they deserve it after this?
And yes, I'm back again. Hi. Because we know that humans also need help at this moment, we will also be donating to the First Nations COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund. You probably already know this, but Native communities have been among the hardest hit by the pandemic.
This video was made with generous donations from death enthusiasts just like you.
I like that. Okay, that's Ask.
And D Watt, thank you for the 20 on the Cash App. Very, very generous of you. I appreciate you. For found you now. Appreciate it, D Watt. Thank you so much. And I'm the princess. Welcome. I was just thinking, and there's the cannibalism. Yep. He was so funny, I miss him. Yeah, we all do, Megan Fox. Group hug, like Alan says. Did Alan say that? Yeah. Alan said group hug, five squad. Yeah, big hug. Jeff made cannibalism fun. Yeah, it's hard to get through the flesh, but once Dad talked about it, it became fun. La 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 la, death enthusiasts. Hey, it's awesome. I would call the Vice Squad cannibalism enthusiast. Yeah. Got no notice. Sad. Hello all. Hey, at least you're here. Good to see you, Spire.
Ask a Mortician's rundown of the Essex. I was going to watch another kind of humorous animated video of this. Maybe we'll do it as like a precursor, because this Brooks trial is going to be over by next week, and we're going to have nothing but time on our hands. So we can deal with it then. Let's burn through the last few super chats here. Make a few closing comments. During 1804, I went 2 weeks on a diet of about 1/4 of an apple a day due to nausea from malaria. Wow. I didn't experience hunger pains due to the nausea, but I would have taken it over the nausea. Yeah, I don't like that nausea feeling. M. Schwartz, thank you so much. How have I never seen Maritime Monday before? This is freaking awesome, especially for a New Englander like me. Yeah, and if people have been asking, well, what the hell relevance does this have to do with anything? What this has to do with anything is that's what I do. Probably 70% of my legal work revolves around maritime matters. Law of the sea stuff, ship collisions, ship accidents, cargo damage, shipbuilding contracts. So this is my wheelhouse. Everybody else talks about the things that they do in their wheelhouse. This is and wheelhouse, there's a nautical term for you, the bridge of a vessel. So yeah, this is why we do it. Just specifically for that.
And Megan Fox, Connor, have you gone back to the beginning of his channel when he was using his radio voice? I saw his very first live that he did. I think that was his very first video. If not, I guess not. Connor just thought of this. Do you think Tank the Shark is a nod to the Shark Tank that Wools appeared upon? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? It was so cute. It was so cute. He was so nervous. There you go. Is that really the only way I can... I'm gonna stop talking.
and people liked it. I just did it. I did it once. I did the first Maritime Monday just came out of me having nothing to talk about that day. And so I did it, and you guys loved it, so I kept doing it every Monday. So Maritime Monday is a thing now, where we talk about ship collisions, and we watch videos. We watch videos of disasters or maritime-related things. Next week, next Maritime Monday, a little bit of a preview here. We'll get into the details later. Will be probably the only maritime, semi-maritime related incident, and with a whiskey tie-in. And frankly, I'm just doing it as a cheap excuse to drink some whiskey on stream. Not that I ever needed an excuse to do that before, but that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a whiskey tie-in, a whiskey-related maritime incident next week. We got a
Oh, Megan Fox. I know what game you're talking about. And my uncle, dad's younger brother, actually plays it. God, I forgot the name. It's gonna bother me now. Gotta see everyone out and hear YouTube later. Oh, hey, King Bob, thanks for popping in. Sidebars. Should I really watch sidebars? I miss man. I seen another ship incident today where a ship parked in someone's backyard after a sailor fell asleep. Oh, interesting. Ace Attorney. Yep, David. Thank you. Yes. Ace Attorney. That's the name. You have to watch sidebars. The mother has spoken. I gotta watch sidebars. Hey, I'll probably do that on Monday. Because I'll come on and watch sidebars with you. Sweet. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, since Monday's Memorial Day, I might do it then. Yeah. We'll see. I don't got work Monday. Hell yeah.
couple of super chats here. Make sure I don't want to miss any of them. Hang tight. I know there's a couple that have gone through.
Hey, sorry for keep pausing, but people are just so generous and so fun to talk with. I could do a daytime Monday with you. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, let me know what your availability is. Text me, DM me, whatever. You have my information. Empire, thank you for being a member for 3 months in the Vice Squad. Appreciate you. And hopefully you will continue the support. 3 months. Oh, hey. You're one of them that joined the very first time I got monetized. Yeah. That's when Give It a Whirl was born. Hey. Unfortunately, there's no button for Give It a Whirl. Ask Hayden also? Okay, yeah. Yeah, if we're gonna do morning, then it'll be like late night for Hayden, and he might have work. I don't know, because he's a deadhead. So, yeah. And plus, I'll ask him.
Here, got 3, 4 to go through. John Diaz, most people in developed countries have never experienced true hunger. A person can survive 30 to 50 days without food. Real hunger that drove you to kill wouldn't kick in until around day 10 or 11. Well, 2 weeks ago when we did the story of the mignonette, the cannibalism story, a lot of that, oh God, I just choked there. Sorry about that. A lot of that centered around the need for liquids, for water. So they were drinking their urine. Then they turned to drinking blood to survive. So go back 2 weeks and watch The Case of the Mignonette. Dun, dun, dun. Just a map, nailed to the wall. The show trial, there is no plaintiff. No jurisdiction has been established. They charged him with a crime. Someone with a similar name committed. Yep, someone with a...
Jill, gotcha bitch, always my best ever.
Gotcha, bitch.
I fell out my chair and broke my Legos when Jeff screamed. Give it a whirl. Nice.
A name that wasn't in all caps. We'll be getting to the Daryl Brooks case in about 12 minutes from now. Laser Doctor, shark fin soup did it. Damn you for putting that back in my head. Shame on you. It took me 2 days to get Baby Shark out of my head when we talked about that. M. Schwartz, you need to come to Griswold Inn here in Connecticut and sing sea shanties with us.
Oh, Mary Jane, welcome. Good to see you. I never did get to watch Jeff for very long, but this is wonderful, Connor, that you do this. Bittersweet for you, but thankfully you have this. Hey, and thank you all for being here.
It's done weekly. Cool.
Oh, and see Winterstorm, hi.
The sea shanties I would sing are by my favorite folk singer, Canadian Newfoundler. There's like some amazing
Did you say New Fiddler?
songs out there, amazing sea shanties. And we're gonna we'll do the way we think we have time to do 2 versions of the Wellerman before we get out of here, don't we? I think so. Where was I? I was gonna say something. But yeah, my favorite sea shanty and folk singer, Canadian Newfoundler Stan Rogers. If you've never listened to Stan Rogers songs, go listen to Stan Rogers. Stan Rogers does some great stuff. Barrett's Privateers is one of my favorite sea shanties of all time. He does some other good songs. So anyway, we had a request for Wellerman here, the Wellerman song, which I think is one of the lamest sea shanties ever written or ever sung. But
Yeah, and Kathy, thank you for the 5 on Cash. I really appreciate you. Loved your dad. Love you. Hey, and I love you. Thank you for the generosity. I was looking forward to him and Connor coming to Scotland. Hey, one day I'll be over in Scotland. One day. I suck at saving money, so it's going to take a little bit.
And the idea behind the sea shanties was either work songs. You know, there was the different sea shanties with the different beats, and they were work songs on the vessel, to where you would make motions in time with the beat of the music, where there's like hauling in sails or whatnot. We should do a sea shanty stream. That's what we should do for Maritime Monday, and watch how freaking fast that gets demonetized. I think we'll do that. We'll do that maybe 2 weeks from now, like a sea shanty thing. And Cold Frost, member for 2 months, says interesting stuff as always, Jeff. Thank you so much. Yeah, sea shanty songs. There were work songs, and the Koreans have rice planting songs where they just do it to get in the rhythm of doing the work, and that's what the sea shanties were originally for. So when you're hauling in the sail, or when you're doing something, there was a particular song they wrote to a particular beat, so that you could work as a team instead of saying, okay, 1, 2, 3, pull, 1, 2, 3, pull. You would just sing and pull when it was time to pull. Stan Rogers, correct. Who said that? Where'd that go? Dang it. Yes, Stan Rogers. Esprit Fleck. Hey, hi. Stan Rogers, my favorite folk singer, Canadian folk singer. He sings a lot of sea shanty and maritime songs. All right, let's.
Kind of think how I wish I had these memories of my dad with a gift. Then, what's your favorite oil you had with your dad? Hmm. Very good question. There's too many. Probably playing baseball with him when I was a little kid. Well, you have a couple of years because I'm selling up and moving to Spain. Can't take the UK anymore. Gotcha. I have a deadline now. And hey, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Quick intermission. There's like a few minutes left in the video, I know. Hey. Guess who has a code now for the Dragon's Treasure? If you use the code ViceViceBaby, all capital, no space, you can get 10% off of entire order. It applies to subscription one-time orders and applies to all recurring subscription orders as well. Please support me and T-Man because he makes great teas. And I'm about to buy some more teas after this stream probably. Yeah. Use code ViceViceBaby, all capital, no space, for 10% off your teas. Buy some teas, soap, and coffee. I'll come up with a better script next time. Back to the show.
Let's see how fast this gets demonetized here by bringing up one of the Weller songs, and then we'll end it with my very, very favorite sea shanty ever, 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 ever. Here's the one that I mean, for some reason this Wellerman song kicked off during COVID, and it became sort of semi-popular. Well, I mean, like by semi, I mean wildly. This is a long version. That stuff is getting to me here, and we got to wrap this up real quick here.
So to those wondering why that got cut real quick, apparently he got warning from YouTube, so he had to cut that off real quick.
But there's still one more to get through. One more super chat. That was kind of fun singing. Yeah, exactly. That was an auto-tune sea shanty. Ugh. Yeah, there was a little bit of auto-tune going on there, wasn't there? But the next one, the final one we're gonna do, has zero auto-tune at all, and is my favorite song ever. And I'm sure everybody, especially Rose the mod, will enjoy. We'll wrap up these final three here. What do we got? Thank you, says Jillian Ann. You rock. No, Jillian Ann, you rock. You rock. Vice Pope Sea Captain Lorax. You're entitled to your opinion about the Wellerman. And if you can put up or shut up with alleged better sea shanties, we shall. 2 weeks from now, we will do sea shanties. We'll just say, fuck monetization and throw that out the window, and we'll do sea shanties. That would be awesome. All right, we'll do that. I declare 2 weeks from now to be Sea Shanty Maritime Monday. So tune in for that. Jonathan, Assassin's Creed Black Flag had a bunch of nice versions of sea shanties. Check out the album if you haven't. Yeah, those would be copyright claimed pretty much instantly. Cat in Virginia, super sticker. Cat in Virginia, you're going to love this last sea shanty we're going to do. I can tell you that. Thank you for the super sticker.
He looked so angry saying that. Or is that just me? His eyes were furious.
Let's go in on this final sea shanty, and then we'll say goodbye and wrap it up. This is a sea shanty from my favorite people, and is my favorite sea shanty. This is
Oh, Miss Teresa, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Hope you have a good weekend.
the Trailer Park Boys. There you go. The Trailer Park Boys with my favorite sea shanty of all time. The Kitty Man comes.
And welcome, Amy.
Oh, I hope that's a first for some of you. Rose, that is the
Oh, hey, you're back. Just on. Welcome. Hello, Amy. I already said that. Hey, cool, I made it. Hey, cool, you made it. And I love Trailer Park Boys. I need to rewatch it. I love Bubbles.
Trailer Park Boys. It's a really, really funny Canadian series. You should watch it. The first 5 seasons were funny. Then it got kind of a little bit jumping the shark a little bit here. But yeah, that's the Trailer Park Boys. Just search Trailer Park Boys, and you'll have a time of your life watching the first 5 seasons and a couple of Christmas specials. All right, we got 4 minutes until the Brooks trial starts. let me see what's going on here. Got to make sure I didn't. Please don't send any more super chats. We got to wrap this sucker up, and I got to bounce. Dang. All right, I think we got everything. We got 3 here to get through. Again, Cat and Virginia super sticker. Thank you so much. We did that one. Armand, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Awesome. And EA wrapping us up. I hope you do a maritime ghost story for Halloween. We're gonna be doing ghost ships. Okay. Shit. Next week we're gonna do the whiskey thing. 2 weeks from now we'll do the sea shanties, and then we'll do ghost ships. Ghost ships are 3 weeks from today. Super. I'm glad you're all liking the Kitty Man. Yeah, you got. If you don't know who they are, you gotta watch the Trailer Park Boys. They did the When the Kitty Man Comes, which I just thought was hilarious. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. The mods, thank you for doing the thing. People in the chat, thank you for doing your thing. For those of you that subscribed during this, I deeply, deeply appreciate it. We got a huge number of subscriptions during this. We're up over 30,600 subscriptions right now. We're going to be well over 31,000 by Fuck It Friday, which is coming November 4th. Put Fuck It Friday on your calendar. You don't want to miss the Fuck It Friday stream. There will be lots of booze consumed, lots of money grifted, and we'll have a damn good time. Now we're going to go over to the courtroom. The courtroom's getting to start. And what's going to happen here is we're going to automatically dump into my stream, my Brook stream. We'll transfer automatically over there. And I got to go do some things. I got to refresh my drink, got to hit the head, got to go to the bathroom. And then I'll come back and join the stream. So everybody kind of let everybody know not to run away because I will be there in a minute. So, all right, everybody, take care of yourself. Y'all love it. I love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow for the makeup stream of the O.J. Simpson trial, the one that went to shit last Thursday. We'll do a better job tomorrow. Take care, all. We'll see you on the flip side. You're going to get dumped automatically into Daryl Brooks starting right about now. See
Hey, I was muted. Welcome. Hi. I know.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Anyway, it wouldn't be a gesture with a muted booer moment. Yeah. Want to get to watch Fort Brooks? No, not today. You're taking lessons from expert. Am I? Please tell me I'm not still. Okay, I'm not muted still. So that was the now it got me all messed up. That was another episode of Maritime Monday. Let's see, is Flux still alive? House of Flux. She is still alive. Awesome. Okay, so I'll be dropping you guys over there. High Spirit of Jeff. Yep. So thank you guys for joining me again in this little episode. I've done today. I put some eyeballs on the Wooble, little tank the shark. Celestial Force, thank you for joining in. Really appreciate you. And Emspire, thank you. Have a good sleep. Have a good night. And I put some con in it. So Mrs. Flux is streaming as well, yes. So yeah, all I have to do is make the I have to make the tail and the fin, the dorsal fin. Then I'll be good. My Korean daughter just made one of those. Nice. So, rest of the week. Today, so after this afternoon, I'll probably run a couple errands that I have to do. Will I be streaming? I don't know. But evening, nighttime ish, I'll read a couple more chapters of Megan Fox's Belief Evidence book, which will be the first big book that I read ever in my life. And Sunday, we'll see what happens. Monday, I guess I'll be doing sidebars. I'll do sidebar, and I'll also be doing Maritime Monday stream because I don't have work. So, hey, that book is harsh, yes. And I always give the same warning every time I start it. Megan Fox doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. So if you get hurt, come back to a different stream, and we'll love to have you there. But hey, I'll join you guys over at Flux's chat. So thank you all again for joining. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful morning, evening, wherever you are. I'll write up a little ad script for the Dragon's Treasure since I have a code now. How fancy of me. Stay beautiful. Stay lovely. I love you guys. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Well, that's all for this stream, but it's been so sweet. Thanks for hanging with us. It's been a treat. We'll keep it warm, keep it real, take it slow. Catch you next time when the vibes are ready to flow. If you enjoyed the ride, give us a like, subscribe for the warmth. Come back whenever you like. Until then, take it easy. Don't rush, don't hurry. I'll be here waiting. No need to worry. Vice, baby, always by your side. Stay cozy, stay calm, let the good times ride. Peace for now, but we'll meet again. Take care, my friend. Until then.